WBOK.
WBOK, 12:30 a.m. I am blessed. I am blessed. I am blessed. The Lord woke me up, blessed me with another beautiful day, a day I have not seen before. So I'm happy to have this one and planted my feet on the floor and got me up and going to get over to this radio station. I am Will Sutton, and I've got a special treat for you today because in with us today is Norman Robinson.
Yeah, that's right, and it's really early. It's really early.
Yep. Well,
you know, when I retired, I said I'm not getting up before 10 a.m. in the morning. But my friend Will called, and I said, you know, what are friends for, right? What are friends for if they can't wake you up at 5 a.m. in the morning?
I didn't tell you what time you had to
get dressed.
Up.
Well, you know, I live on the West Bank,
but
so you know, I gotta contend with that Crescent City classic. I mean, that Crescent City connection.
Yeah, right.
Traffic. I never know what that's going to be like. So you know, I have to get a head start.
Yeah. Well, you made it.
Yeah, I made it. You know,
made it. You
absolutely.
Made it.
I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah. So we
bright-eyed and almost bushy-tailed.
Well, we're going to be rocking and rolling today, folks. There's so much going on, lots to talk about, but what a show.
Yes,
we've
sir.
got for you, because yesterday, of course, we had a number of things, but I would say the highlight of the show was having the State Representative District 97 candidates, Eugene Green and Ed Murray, on for a spell.
Yeah, I heard that was a pretty, how should you say, energetic show.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so I'm happy that both of them made themselves available, and that both of them took questions from Eddie Francis and I, and it was good. I mean, as these things can go, and you've moderated a number of forums, debates, et cetera, meet and greets and all of that.
Too many to count.
I mean, and sometimes you wish it was like, is this thing going to be over? And then other times it's like, boy, we really need more time because we're kind of diving in here.
And other times it's like, where's the referee?
Yeah, right. Well, I think we managed to be official, referee, and moderator and questioner, and had some good questions, good answers, and interesting answers. I mean, not everybody on every question hit the ball out of the park or anything, but I think it was really good for our WBOK family of listeners to hear the questions, hear the answers, whatever they were, and kind of have a chance to process those if they haven't voted already.
Well, you know, you should always be engaged as a citizen. You should always understand what the issues are. You should always understand who's running and why. You should always understand what their platform is on a particular subject matter. And you should always have an understanding about what you would like to see by way of improving the quality of life in your community and you should always hold those candidates who aspire to a higher office to account on those issues. And if you're not engaged, then you're not being a very, how should you say, active participant.
Right.
And so you don't have any reason to complain about things when they don't go right, because you haven't been engaged in the process, and you haven't been holding people to account for getting the things done that you see. I remember one politician telling me that when she's in the legislature and she's talking about trying to get her fellow legislators to agree to some amendment that she's bringing to the table or some proposal that she's bringing to the table, they always want to know, what is the voting percentage in your district?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you only had a 10% turnout in your district, you don't bring anything to the table here. I mean, we don't really need to really talk to you. We don't really need to worry about negotiating any kind of compromise with you because you don't have any leverage. The people in your district are not active.
Mm.
They don't really care. I don't have to worry about them rising up against me because they're apathetic. And that's really a shame. But that's the reality of it. When people say, "Oh well, I don't have anything to do with them politics. I just all those politics. The politicians are just they're crooked. They're no good. They're self-centered." Well, let me tell you what, politics are our own interest.
Yes.
And if we're not engaged, and if we don't have some way of holding politicians to account to live up to their obligation, then we're useless. I mean, we just have to suffer and accept what we have because we're not part. We're not part of the process.
Yep. Politics are a part of all of our lives, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, and that politician who told me that was Delisha Boyd.
Mm-hmm.
She said, when I go up there and I'm talking to my fellow legislators, the first thing they want to know is what I bring to the table in terms of voter participation.
And that's fascinating because just earlier this week we had the Registrar of Voters in Lisa Menin Bridges, and she said of the eligible voters for these three districts, we had a 5% turnout.
That's ridiculous. It's outrageous.
In early voting.
It's 5%.
5%. Yeah. And we're going to go to a break in a moment, but there were enough registered voters who requested mail-in ballots. More than 4,000 of them requested it.
Wow.
So they're interested. Those people are interested.
Mm-hmm.
But fewer than 1,000 turned them in during the early voting period. Now, they still have this week to turn them in, but they have them in the visor and in front of them while they're driving, or on the dash, or in the back seat, or in the kitchen. But
right.
They have
them. That's like the man
and they can exercise that opportunity to vote. And those people don't have to wait till Saturday.
No, they don't.
They don't have to wait.
And that's the ridiculous part of it.
Yeah.
It's like you have those, but you're not using them.
Yeah.
You haven't used them. And we don't know if they will use them.
We don't know if they will use them. And I sure hope that they will. And those of you who have those mail-in ballots, more than 3,000 of you all, you can turn those in on any day. Do not wait until the deadline, which is 4:30 p.m. on Friday. And please don't put it in the mail Friday morning and think it's going to get there, because it's not. Look, we're going to go to break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to talk some more. We got quite a show coming up for you. We've got a number of things, including the candidates who want to represent State Senate District number 3. The people who want to follow in the footsteps of Joe Boyd, Ken Barnes, Sidney Bartholomew, John Johnson, Chad Lagua. All of them will be here, or at least they said they'll be here, and they're going to talk to you, our WBOK family of listeners. And we've got much, much more.
Your word is your bond.
Absolutely. The talk line is 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422. This is WBOK, 1230 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Good morning and happy Thursday. I'm Morgan Lentis with WDSU News, and here's a look at today's headlines. The New Orleans Police Department is preparing to review all of its payroll. This after the department's Public Integrity Bureau recently arrested Sergeant Henry Burke on 4 counts of public payroll fraud and 6 counts of injuring public records. The Office of Inspector General has been looking into the department's records, and Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick says the department also put new policies in place in hopes of preventing future fraud. Then there are new developments in the murder investigation of former Edna Karr and Ole Miss football player Corey Adams. The FBI says they are looking for a black Nissan sedan. Investigators say someone fired shots from the vehicle, hitting Adams and several other football players. The shooting happened last year on July 19th during a party near Memphis, Tennessee. A reward has also been increased to $20,000 for information that leads to an arrest. Finally, the community will say a final goodbye to fallen Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Deputy Christopher Ohlmeyer. He died Friday in a motorcycle crash while helping with a funeral procession on Airline Highway in Holly Grove. His viewing is from 10 to 1 today at the Jefferson Performing Arts Center, with his funeral to follow. And that is a look at today's headlines.
My name is Armand Gillespie.
And this is Philip Thomas.
And we are the Bald Online Podcast, where we cover all the major sports topics. But today, we come to you all to talk about a more serious topic.
Suicide prevention. A little less than a week ago, a young, talented football player named Marshawn Nealon took his life after scoring his first NFL touchdown.
We stress the importance of life and how precious every person is. We on Bald Online Podcast hope, if you're ever going through anything, to please reach out to a loved one.
And if you think you have no one to turn to, please call 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Remember, you are loved and cherished in every possible way.
Peace and always love from us. And remember, ball don't lie. Peace.
Good morning, wake up.
The Good Morning Show.
Good morning.
On WBOK.
Back to the Good Morning Show. I am Will Sutton, and I am here with Norman Robinson.
Yes, live and in person.
Yep. Made it across that bridge. Got here.
Finally awake.
I'm not going to say when, but you got here.
I got here.
You got here.
Yeah.
And
I got here before the appointed time.
Oh, yes, you did. And appreciate your coming in to be with me this morning.
Well, don't think you don't owe me big.
I know I do. Oh, boy. Well, of course, we like to keep you updated here at WBOK, the Good Morning Show. And so we have a bit of breaking news here. At 6 a.m., there was a report of a 2-alarm house fire in Fillmore. And the New Orleans Fire Department has indicated that there's a house engulfed in flames, partially collapsing. That's in the 4200 block of Cadillac Street. Mm-hmm. So if you live in that neighborhood or have reason to know someone in that neighborhood, that block, or the neighborhood, because, when they start using those fire hydrants, then the water pressure changes.
Yeah.
And you also have to be safe with the perimeters that they set up. So there's no other information right now.
Well,
but,
this is
this
is a reminder for people to be very careful. We don't know what started the fire, but during these times in this cold season, occasionally it's with those space heaters that you leave on, or they're too close to flammable objects.
Yep.
So be very careful with space heater usage, because you can wake up and find yourself in the middle of a fire if you're not careful about where you place the location of those space heaters, especially next to curtains, or if you have a cloth sofa or chair, and you leave that space heater close to it. it's a potential fire hazard.
Right.
So be very, very careful out there. Let this be a warning or a reminder to take care with usage of your space heaters.
Yeah, and a reminder that we're going to be hearing from our Congressman Troy Carter. That'll be coming up soon. So go ahead and call folks, email them, text them. Make sure that they know that the Congressman will be on with us, because if it's Thursday, it's Congressman Troy Carter Day at WBOK's Good Morning Show. Of course, there were multiple arrests made in an arson case from last month, and that was reported
Was that with the
yesterday.
fire? Was that with the
That's
car
correct.
fires?
Yeah. So the Louisiana State Police took control of that. They won't say how many people were apprehended, but they were looking for 2 individuals. Now, I think you might be talking about the Bywater.
Yeah,
arsons.
I'm talking about. I was
All right,
referring
this
to
is in
that.
the 1300 block of St. Bernard.
This sounds like a copycat.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
St. Bernard.
Yeah.
Little different neighborhood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. quite different.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this was January 20th incident, and this was engulfed on the front porch of a home near St. Bernard and North Villery. So the person was walking away from that vicinity, but as that develops, we'll.
Oh, that's the one where they set the house. They set the porch on fire first.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So they have apprehended some people.
Good.
We don't know who they are or what, but that is developing as well.
Well, I
So-
must say that the police have been very proactive in finding suspects in these cases. It doesn't go days, weeks, and months before they end up finding someone or apprehending a suspect. I can't say that these people are guilty, because you're not guilty until proven guilty in a court of law,
Right,
but
right,
they are
right.
suspects.
Right.
And the police have been very proactive in rounding them up. So I give them kudos for that.
Yeah, and in this case, I mean, the fire department has doesn't often be in a situation of going to seek people,
Right.
but
Well, that's what they have
had
those.
to-
That's what they
had
have.
to activate that.
That's what they have those arson investigators for.
Absolutely, yeah. So that is ongoing as well. And let's see, we've got a couple of people who were shot in the 7th Ward, and that happened yesterday. And that was about 5:43 p.m. yesterday at North Miro and New Orleans. Oh, I know that neighborhood.
Yeah, as do I.
Mm.
Yeah. We've seen several shootings, and that's very troubling, very disturbing that these shootings are beginning to crop up again. There was a long respite period where we didn't hear a lot about shooting incidents, and now we are. Maybe people are closer to each other because of the winter, or who knows what's driving that sort of silliness.
Yeah, don't know about that. There was a shooting in Gentilly Woods a bit ago, and that was Friday. But now that person has been identified as Jerry L. Williams, 25. That shooting was at 3:51 a.m. Wednesday. I'm sorry, they responded to a call of a shooting on Wednesday. They found a man shot at that location, and then the officers entered the home and found Williams along with another woman who had been shot.
Mm. You know,
So,
these are not random situations. Normally, these situations involve people who know each other and know each other very well, and there's some kind of conflict that can't be resolved amicably, so they resort to violence or revenge, which is unfortunate.
yeah. And these things are happening as the New Orleans Police Department getting more kudos for the crime drop and keeping it low. But it doesn't mean crime goes away.
No, it never goes away.
It never goes away. You want
Because-
to minimize it, prevent it, do as much as you can, because if there are domestic issues, how are the police supposed to know other than if somebody makes a call and said, this is going on with me, with us, or I see too much commotion next door. Otherwise, it's, something can go bonkers, and it wasn't the police fault that, somebody's injured, hurt, or
Well, as long as people can't sit down or stand up or whatever they're doing, or talk to each other and come to some kind of reasonable understanding, you're always going to have situations like that that result in some kind of violent incident.
Yeah, well, we'll be staying on top of that as we continue with the Good Morning Show. And we're going to take a break in a moment. And when we come back, we expect to be hearing from our Congressman, Troy Carter. So we'll go to break momentarily. The talk line is 504-582-9422. 504-582-9422. This is WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
A chilly and breezy Thursday is ahead. Highs only make it to 53 to 55 degrees, but with the winds today, it'll feel a lot cooler than that. You can expect those winds coming out from the north, so yes, it will be funneling in that cooler air. As we do get to tonight, lows will drop to the 30s and the 40s, and then getting into our Friday, warming back up to the 60s. More 60s, even 70s by Sunday. From the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Richard.
Attention, WBOK listeners. Are you a fan of the station and want to show your support and style? Well, we've got some exciting news for you. Introducing the official WBOK merchandise, the perfect way to wear your love for the station. Whether you're a longtime listener or a new fan, we've got something for everyone. Head to WBOK1230.com now and grab your WBOK gear before it's gone. When you buy WBOK merch, you're not just getting quality items, you're supporting the station you love.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
This is Andronika Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
Welcome to Chemical of the Month from the Community Scientist and Rise St. James. This month's focus is polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, or PAHs, formed when fuels like oil, gas, wood, or trash are burned. These chemicals can enter the air we breathe and settle into our soil and water. Many PAHs are known carcinogens, adding to the health burdens faced by communities living near industry. Learn how to protect your health at risestjames.org.
My wife was frying okra. She's from Mississippi, so that's her favorite thing to do. She left the burner on high, and it didn't take long to ignite. So I ran to the stove, grabbed the pot, and that's when I got burned from a grease fire. And yes, the pain was, it was bad. Oh, Blue Cross treated me great with the recovery process. On the financial side, it would be expensive without Blue Cross. And that's what I was worrying about because I was out of work for 3 months. I'm Chad. I'm from Baton Rouge, and I had Blue Cross for 10 years. I don't eat fried okra. That's the funny story.
Louisiana Blue. The right card, the right care.
Morning Wake Up.
The Good Morning Show on WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. For those of you all who have been with us since 701, 702,
Oh, what an ungodly hour.
There's a difference between up and being on.
Yes, there's a great difference.
All right. I'm Will Sutton, and here with me today, special treat, Norman Robinson.
Yes, you're a good friend. You're a good friend, Norman, who wouldn't do this for anybody but you.
Well, I appreciate it. Well, if it's Thursday at WBOK in the Good Morning Show, it is Congressman Troy Carter Day. Good morning, Congressman.
Good morning to two guys that are always on.
Hey, listen, Congressman. Flattery will get you everywhere. How are you?
Good.
How are you, my friend?
Listen, all things being considered, I am wonderful. Up and ready for the battle, which is something that happens every single day in a nation's capital with all that's going on. As you know, you're seeing and living the headlines along with me of the atrocities
every
of what's
day
going on in our country. But listen, we've been through this before, and we will get through this. You know, we are resilient people, and quitting and failure is not an option.
You're right. We've got to stay vigilant, though. You know, I'm going to ask you something that I asked Bill Cassidy. I asked Bill Cassidy last summer, and I knew he was going to gaslight me. I looked him in the eye. I said, Senator, tell me that we're going to be okay. And he said, oh, we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. Don't worry. We're going to be fine. And then I see him sucking up to the guy that that he voted to impeach, and I knew that he was lying when he said that, and that he said that to me just to how should you say placate my concerns. And here he is now in a situation where he's fighting for his political survival. So I'm going to ask you: are we going to be okay?
Well, you know, the answer to him, it's all relative, right? Okay means what to who?
Yeah.
To him, maybe okay is different from okay for you and I. And my answer is going to be a little different. Yes, we are going to be okay, but it's not going to be easy. You know, we've got a long road ahead. We are very likely to take the midterms and take the House back, which will give us the ability to stop the bleed. It won't give us a chance to start reversing things until we get both the House and Senate and the White House. But the road to recovery is going to take a minute. Listen, we've had strikes against us. We've had the evil atrocities of Jim Crow, of Reconstruction, of slavery. We've seen all these things. And listen, remember, we got 60 members of the Congressional Black Caucus. At one point, we had none. Then we had one. Then we had 4. So we are outvoted, as we often talk about, but we're not outvoiced. And we're going to continue, and we're not outsmarted either.
I like
that. So we're going to keep fighting. So this notion that, from Bill Cassidy's view, we're going to be okay. Well, maybe from his standard, because he is.
Well,
let me tell you something, man.
He ain't going to be okay.
This guy thought for a second that he could actually come back and kiss up to Trump, and Trump would forgive him. My God.
No, that was.
He had an opportunity to do the right thing.
Yes, he did.
And we all were so disappointed when he confirmed RFK. That was just, listen, you know, if a physician, a very well-respected, well-trained physician who knows better, played Russian roulette with Trump, you're going to lose every single time.
Yeah, I thought he was much smarter than that. Well, I thought he had integrity. I don't want to denigrate Bill because he is a friend, but I thought he had integrity. But when he rolled over on RFK Jr., that gave me great concern. because
I think,
he knew
what
better.
ended up happening is he put self before what's better for the country. He knew, I believe, that what he was doing was not the right thing. I think he was very troubled by it. I think he was very challenged by it. But he still gave in to self-preservation over what's better for the country.
What is? Go ahead, Bill.
Well, I don't know if you saw it, but Karl Rove wrote a piece in the Wall Street Journal that basically said midterms are Democrats' opportunity to lose, and they might. And his point was essentially your point. If you don't really fight for this, as opposed to assuming that this is going to happen, it's not going to happen. And he thinks there are weaknesses with the Democratic plan at this point. But that gets to your point. Agitate, voice, and get at it. I know you.
Listen, and we've demonstrated that works.
Yeah.
We've demonstrated that, I often talk on this show and everywhere else about the 3 C's, the Congress, the courts, and the community. And we've demonstrated through each of those C's that we've been successful. We have used discharge petitions to get things to the floor that they fought us from getting to the floor and getting a vote. We did it twice. We did it on the ACA tax credits. We did it on the Epstein files, and we'll continue to do it. That's demonstrating that even though we don't have the votes, we know how to use procedural measures to advance legislation. It's not easy, but we've been able to do it at least twice under the leadership of Hakeem Jeffries, and we've even been able to get a handful of Republicans to join us. So there's a small crack in the dam of a handful of Republicans who are seeing the light. Look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. Look at Massey.
Yeah.
You've got a handful of them who are starting to say, this guy is crazy.
Is there a strategy, Congressman? I know I've done editorials on your position, but you seem to take the fight to them. Is there a strategy that you don't want to be too aggressive, that you want to be that you want to be in a position where you pick your battles and not over agitate?
Well, you always pick your battles because you want to win. You don't want to just make noise. So strategy and from my standpoint, my strategy is to call balls and strikes, to not be afraid, to call these guys out, to write about it as I often do in editorials and social media and press conferences and town halls, to let them know that we're watching, we see you, and we're not going to let you just rob us at the bewitching hour. So the key is to be strategic on how we use these tools, and we've been successful. Just about maybe 10 days ago, there was an effort for the Robert F. Kennedy's group to cut mental health funding for our nonprofits through SAMHSA,
right.
For substance abuse and depressive disorders. We put together 100 members of Congress in a bipartisan way, and within a couple of hours, literally by the next morning, we had reversed it. So, the strategy of being able to galvanize other Republicans who you can tweak to make them realize how wrong Trump is. Listen, I often say on this show, wrong is wrong, regardless of who the president is.
True.
And I will tell you, Democrats have demonstrated our strength to stand up against even our own party when they're wrong. Republicans have not found that strength. They seem to give Donald Trump a pass on things that in private they will say they know he's wrong for, but won't say it in public.
That is the true definition of cowardice. So what are they afraid of? Are they afraid of the leverage that Trump carries? That his mercurial blowback, his tendency to have a tantrum. I know he's unpredictable and will go off the rails. Are they afraid that he'll bring the crazy MAGA power down on top of their heads and undo their careers? What is it? What's driving the fear?
I think it's a combination of all of that. So I think it's a combination of challenging them at their reelection. I think it is the fact that he may ostracize them and call them out. I think it is afraid of being rejected by the country club group, in their social circles who seem to hail and worship Donald Trump. They're afraid of being kicked out of the quote unquote club. It all comes down to fear. It all comes down to being hypocrites because, in private, they laugh at him. But in public, when the lights come on, it's like, my God, man, I just had a beer with you last night. That's not what you said. But now, all of a sudden, all hail Donald Trump. But they joke about him. I've been in meetings where they must have forgotten I was in the room. And they start making jokes about him and imitate him, talk about issues about him. But then when it's time to talk about policy, they have the pensive look on their face. They really don't want to vote for this stuff, but then they vote for it. Or we're winning a vote, and then Donald Trump gets on the telephone and starts calling them one-on-one. I can only imagine what he says to them, but I suspect it's not nice, but they cave. And it's like, man, where's your spine? You didn't get elected to get reelected. You got elected to make a difference. And these guys, they failed that pitifully.
Congressman, recently part of your pushback was hosting a Homeland Security hearing here in New Orleans. That was focused on Callahoola Crunch in particular, and you had some powerhouse players here. Talk with us about that.
We're very fortunate to have Ranking Member Benny Thompson, our good friend from Mississippi, who will be chairman again very, very shortly of Homeland Security. We're very fortunate to have Seth Magaziner from Rhode Island and Tim Kennedy from Buffalo, New York, to join us for a field hearing on the issues surrounding the overreach and downright unconstitutional illegal actions of ICE. It was held in the New Orleans City Council chambers. The new mayor and council president were very gracious to allow us to use the council chambers, even though the weather was inclement and the building had been shut down because of the bad weather. They were kind enough to not only let us use it, but to also participate, as did all members of the city council. We had a robust discussion with stakeholders, with victims, with advocates, ACLU, various church leaders and advocates who work in this space every day to not only talk about what's happening, but have us hear from the actual victims and some of the actions of what they're doing. We see only a piece of it on the news. We only hear a part of it.
Right.
But this stuff's happening every single day. And for every story that you guys report, that we read about, that we see, there are tens of others, 10s and 20s, 30s, 50s, hundreds of others that happen and go unnoticed where people's rights are being trampled. We had a great discussion. I was fortunate, as you know, I'm an adjunct professor of political science at Xavier University, and I had my entire class and some of the other political science students to come and witness government in action. But we had a chance to talk about what's going on. We made it very clear, if ICE wants to help, if the president wants to help, if Homeland wants to help, there are ways to do it. There's ways to do it. But if you're here to occupy,
right,
if you're here to violate people's rights, if you're here to have political theater, we don't want you here. And so now at this point, ICE must go and Kristi Noem must go. And I signed off on the impeachment, articles of impeachment. And if the president doesn't get rid of her first, we're going to go forward with impeachment articles to demonstrate that ICE is a tainted organization and must go, and the secretary is a tainted secretary and she must go.
So, what do you think the chances are when you're talking about potentially impeaching her?
Well, that's a very good question. And I tell people all the time, we don't have the votes to do that alone.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it doesn't mean that we don't keep kicking. It doesn't mean that we don't keep fighting. Nothing beats a failure but a try.
Right.
And one way to guarantee that you won't win is if you don't join in. So we are going to advance. We're going to push forward with it. And every day that goes by, we get more and more Republicans who are opening their eyes to this stuff and realizing that these guys are wrong. And so, listen, I'm confident we'll get 1 or 2 or 3, maybe we'll get more. And then we'll see what happens. You know, in the past Congress, when Biden was president, we impeached Trump twice.
Yeah.
It didn't go anywhere in the Senate, but the effort to demonstrate to the American people and to demonstrate to Trump that we're not going to let the schoolyard bully keep taking our milk money. No, brother, you're going to fight. You're going to feel the pain, and we're going to stand up to you regardless of the vote. And I think the American people appreciate the fact that, you know, we're not taking the easy route, saying, oh, we don't have the votes, so we're just going to sit here. Nah, man, we don't have the votes, but we're going to fight like hell.
No, you definitely have to fight. I remember my uncle telling me one time when I got out of place with my grandma, he says, Norman, you might beat me, but you know you're going to know you've been in a fight.
There you go. and you think twice about challenging grandma?
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. And that's the whole point. You got to fight. You never lay down and just take it.
Somebody asked me the other day, they said, man, I see almost every day I see you taking them on. Are you afraid? I said, afraid of what?
Exactly.
Listen, man, this guy's trying to kill us all. Our only shot is to fight. You know, we don't have the luxury of being afraid. We don't have the luxury of being quiet with hopes that maybe. No, we got to use everything we have, and to use a football euphemism, man, we got to leave it all on the field every single day.
Yeah.
Well, Congressman, I don't know if you saw this because you have so many things going on, but there's a Republican U.S. Senator from Mississippi, Robert Wicker, who this week said, get the heck out of my state.
You talking about ICE?
ICE.
Yes.
Because they want a detention facility in part of his state. And he's like, no, that we want jobs, but those are not the jobs we want there. And so talking about getting some support, that's the kind of crack that you look for, where there might be some Republican support to say, I'm going to have to break with the party line because here's what's good for my constituents.
Yeah.
That is the type of sobriety I'm talking about. We have moments of sobriety. Unfortunately, what happens, and I hope Senator Wicker doesn't follow suit, and there's no indication he will, but Senator Tillis,
yes,
Marjorie Taylor Greene, oftentimes when they find their voice, they quit after.
Right.
We need you to find your voice and then stay.
Yep.
Stay and challenge this guy, not on 1 vote, not on 2 votes, but challenge him on his evil policies that are totally undemocratic. You know, I gave this quote at the Washington Mardi Gras in a group of the Committee of 100, which is by a large grouping of primarily white Republican men. Many of which are friends.
Mm-hmm.
But in this audience of listening to each of my colleagues stand up and give hyper-partisan comments, I got up and I said the framing was somewhere around 1787, and someone asked Benjamin Franklin after the Constitutional Convention, what kind of government do we have? And he quickly responded, a republic.
Yeah.
If we can keep it.
Yeah, exactly.
If we can keep it. And the audience was like, whoa, that was bold. You know, you got to take advantage to bring this back into focus. We don't want kings or queens. We don't want a monarch. We don't want an oligarch. We have a democracy. But if we aren't careful, and just like Benjamin Franklin said, if you can keep it, a democracy is fragile. It's not automatic. It depends on activism and involvement to keep it. And if we aren't careful, if we're complacent, if we don't fight, this orange man will flip it, and we'll be asking what happened.
All right, Congressman, I know you got limited time, and we got a couple of folks who want to talk with you. But one of the things that happened recently was the Washington Mardi Gras. Share with us some of your experience with Washington Mardi Gras and Washington Mardi Gras affiliated activities and events. I understand you were a big part of one in particular.
Well, so Washington Mardi Gras is a time when literally Louisiana converges upon Washington. You look in the local restaurants. You go to the the hotels. You go through the halls of Congress, and you see Louisiana everywhere, from academia to business and industry to nonprofit to healthcare. You see all of the various individuals, industries, advocacy groups converging on Mardi Gras to, have fun, because it's a big part of it. It's the ball and the pageantry and all of the ancillary events, panel discussions, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work because it gives us an opportunity for people who otherwise don't get to Washington to come and have meaningful discussions with their members of Congress, with agency heads. So we have mayors and parish presidents from all over to come up to visit with members. I had a open house in my office that was packed, a continuous flow of people from Louisiana coming through to, say hi, but also to put a pitch in for their projects that are important to them or policies that are important to them. In the midst of all that, we do a series of outside parties which give people a chance to kind of see Washington and have some fun. Very proud to say that we once again had a robust party where we were able to highlight none other than our very own Michael Heck, who served as the DJ for the party, DJ El Camino. And let me tell you real quickly, I'm going to tell you this story in 10 seconds if I can pull it off. So
okay, let's see.
4 years ago, I was talking to Mike, and I said, Mike, you going to come up for Washington Mardi Gras? He said, yeah. And I said, look, I'm doing a little private party after New Orleans Live, so everybody can kind of come by. People who didn't get tickets for New Orleans Live can come to this. And so he said, oh, great. Man, you ought to let me DJ. And I said, great. And then I moved on about my business. About a week or so later, my team called me and they said, Michael Heck called about DJing something. I said, DJing? What are you talking about? And then it dawned on me, wait, he was serious.
Yeah.
I'd blown that off as a joke. But then I'm obligated. So I was like, okay, well, let's get a backup DJ. We'll let him do it. Man, I want to tell you, the backup DJ never got any attention. Michael Heck got on the wheels, man, and started spinning. People never stopped dancing from start to finish, and now I've had him every single year.
Yeah, he's
so
a whirling
Mardi Gras is that time when we all come together, have fun, show off our economic prowess, show off our academic prowess, show off the culture, the history, the love of Louisiana and New Orleans, and have some fun at the same time.
All right, Congressman, that 10 seconds was a minute and 10 seconds. So, so let's take a call. And
I'm a politician.
I know.
Yes, you are. And a damn good one, too.
All right. We got a call from James. Good morning, James. You're on Will Sutton, Norman Robinson, and, of course, Congressman Troy Carter.
Good morning, good brothers.
Good morning.
Good morning, brother.
I'm very proud of you for the work you're doing and how you represent us in Washington. Got a question and a statement. First off, statement. Let me get that out of the way before I even wax eloquently. The Savannah Guthrie family. How does the American? Well, I'm gonna ask my question first. How does the American public and the Guthrie family have faith in this country's FBI and intelligence agencies to recover her mother? Because this is a question I have because of the incompetence of this administration in any investigation. Golly.
Wow.
So thus far. Also, can you do something about these Dong Fong Bakery lines, bro?
All righty, Congressman. That's a couple of good ones. All right, but you only have a few minutes.
I always compliment James on having very thoughtful questions, and he always posed a good one. You stumped me on that one, brother. You absolutely stumped me on that one. But I'll go to the just eat fast. But I'll go to the one on the FBI. And the real issue we have with the FBI is, as you put it, we've lost confidence because the president has weaponized them. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, while we've had a long history with abuse that's happened in the civil rights and beyond, with discrimination and how people, black and brown, have been unfairly targeted, well, now it's on steroids because you have a president who has absolutely taken and weaponized this agency, and most of the ones who held to the true spirit of what the FBI is for, they're quitting because they don't want to be used that way. So now you've got Kash Patel and those guys. He's parading his girlfriend around on a private jet, buying expensive vehicles and having fun, all at the expense of the people, while we're cutting Medicaid from thousands of people who need it, while we're taking SNAP benefits away from hungry children, while we're telling people that education is not important and denying them access. You know, there's something terribly wrong. So your question about Savannah Guthrie's mom and the lack of confidence of the FBI to do something about it is very real, and it's endemic of what's happening in this country. But I will say, like I said before, hold on. Let's keep fighting. We're going to change it, but we're only going to change it together when we go to the polls and we demonstrate that we're going to vote. We're going to vote every single time. We're going to vote local elections, state elections, federal elections, and we're going to show them what we can do with the power of our vote.
Okay. All right. So, Congressman, we've got a number of other things ongoing. There's the word that there's a ramp down of ICE operations in Minneapolis. Some are saying, no, it's not. It's just a change of strategy. What's your take on what we're seeing there? And since your town hall in New Orleans on Homeland Security, have you seen any changes?
No. And I don't believe there are. I think what your commentary about them just trying to rebrand. They moved Bovino out. They put Tom Homan in, and no one's talking about the $50,000 that he allegedly took from 3 FBI undercover agents in a sting. Can't understand for life me why that just seemed to have gone away. Tom Homan is not a savior. Tom Homan is not a saint. He is not as brash as Bovino, but their efforts are still happening. They claim to have left New Orleans, but we still hear and see instances of their presence here. They may have gone into the shadows a bit in Minneapolis, but they're very much still around. I think they realize that they stepped in it. They killed 2 American citizens in cold blood, and they see that the opinions of the world is flipping on them. So they're doing a pivot. Let us not be comfortable or comforted, because I don't think this mission is over. I think this ICE brigade is President Trump's private army. I think it is their test case of how they build their most loyal nuts.
I think it's deep.
To do whatever he tells them to do. And if you listen to what Bannon said the other day, they want to put ICE agents now around polling places.
Yes.
That's voter intimidation, and it proves my point. It's not about immigration. It's about developing Trump's personal army.
And not only that, I think it's deeper than that, Congressman. I think this is part of the white supremacy movement to decolorize America, because they fear that the white population is becoming severely or seriously outnumbered. And they have moved to make this the primary part of their effort to make America, quote unquote, great again. that means the re-whitening of America, because they've looked at the numbers and they've seen by 2050 that the non-white population in the country of America will be the majority.
There is absolutely no doubt that effort is underway from Stephen Miller and Donald Trump and Bannon and all those guys. And listen, they're not as shy about it.
Oh no,
this is it's not even a dog whistle anymore. It's a bugle, a bullhorn. Because if you look at every effort, if you look at the demise of the education system, get rid of the education system, the whole effort of shutting down and taking away all of these federal jobs because they're pathways to the middle class for minorities, declassifying what's considered a professional degree. My God, a nursing degree is no longer a professional degree. An architect is no longer a professional degree. They are systematically employing and executing all the tenets of Project 2025. I went throughout the country and the state, along with many others, during the last election, telling people of the ills of Project 2025 and the importance of why we must vote to not let this guy back in.
Mm-hmm.
And still we didn't vote. The reality is there is a concerted effort underway on multiple fronts to extinguish history, to erase history as if slavery didn't happen, to act as if our contributions are not real, to get rid of the Smithsonian and the Black History Museum, to take away the historic gains that we've made, whether it's for women or people of color. Listen, we got to wake up. The thought that Jim Crow can't come back, the thought that the Reconstruction can't happen again, anything can happen again if we fall asleep and let it.
You are correct.
As you said it several times, we must remain vigilant. We must be ever present. We must be engaged, involved, and energized.
You know, I'm reminded that when I was a kid, I saw a lack of coverage by the mainstream media. That means newspapers, radio, and television, as it relates to issues that affected blacks. And I saw the mainstream media trumpeting the mainstream line that, you know, blacks are these people who always create problems for us. And I get that sense right now that the media is not aggressive enough in exposing or highlighting the stuff that they're doing.
And that's why I hail every week when I'm here and I talk about the black media, and I talk about WBOK, and I talk about the Tribune, Louisiana Weekly, and Data News Weekly, and I talk about the importance of us leaning in on our local media, particularly those who are owned by African Americans who give us access to unfettered facts and news. As you know, I got a million things going on every day, but I so look forward to this day because it gives us an opportunity to communicate with the people directly. I make it a point to try and be as present as I can in every place that I can, because when I said when I was going to Washington I was going to bring the people with me, and so I do every day. WBOK gives us an opportunity to do just that, to talk about the things that are whitewashed in the main media, if it's covered at all, or to give the audience an opportunity to participate in a world where oftentimes our voices are sounded out. So we have to talk about things they won't talk about.
Exactly.
We have to lean in and support our local media. We have to support our local black press. You know, buy your ads, participate with all of the various local print or electronic media, because if we don't tell our story, who will? And sometimes the very nature of us forcing issues on mediums like this, we force the mainstream media to talk about it too.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Before you go, Congressman, because I know you got other things, two things. One, you got a new podcast episode, What Makes America Tick. And we've got episode 5 of What Makes America Tick on WBOK with Ross Dellinger. So happy to have that coming along. And before we let you go, of course, we have 3 special elections, not asking you to jump in on any candidacy, but the importance of voting even in a special election for Senate District 3, State Rep District 97, and State Rep District 100.
Well, you've got a series of elections that are going on. Interestingly, on 2 of them, you've got the next generation of the next generation of the next generation, where you have the son of a state rep, son of a former state senator, rather, and the son of a current city council member. You have the son of our beloved former mayor, Sidney Bartholomew, my dearest friend and someone that I credit with giving me an opportunity to be in government. And all I can say is get out and vote, man.
Mm-hmm.
Get out and vote. We cannot let these elections go without participation. These elections are important, and it's important that people recognize, as Project 2025 continues to unfold,
Yes, sir.
our local elections, our state elections, our federal elections are all so critically important. Educate, motivate, and get out. We've got to get out. We've got to get out and vote and make sure that our voices are heard, and make sure that this test that they're running on us fails. Project 2025 is going to fail, but it's not going to fail because of lack of their effort. It's going to fail because we're not going to let it happen. And I'm determined to fight with every fiber of who I am to make sure that we stay engaged.
All right,
God bless you guys. Thank you so very much. Honored
Have
to
a
be with
fabulous
both
day.
of you.
All right, have a fabulous day. This is WBLK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by FidelityInvestments.com. Former basketball star Jay Williams is one of the most recognizable analysts for ESPN, but that's only part of the picture. Williams is also very involved in business, including with another media-related venture. Speaking to Bloomberg, Williams says that essentially moonlighting with personal ventures while being an on-air talent is something that was unheard of not too long ago.
I couldn't let ESPN know about investing because it always got used against me. Like I wasn't focused on my craft. And I just think now we have people that are unapologetically themselves in this conversion between sports, finance, media.
Jay Williams is co-founder and chairman of Improbable Media, a platform he created alongside current NBA superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Time is valuable. That's why Lowe's Blueprint Takeoffs turn blueprints into quotes faster. Bring us your plans, and we'll generate itemized material lists to make quoting easier so you can get back to building. Plus, at the Lowe's Pro Desk, you get access to thousands of building materials not sold in store. And when your order's ready, we'll deliver everything to the job site. Improving is easy at Lowe's.
Real issues, real talk.
Real Solutions. Miss an episode of The Reality Check? You can catch every episode anytime. Search WBOK Media on your favorite podcast app to tap the bold commentary, real-time reactions, and powerful perspectives from the people and leaders shaping our city. Download, share, and rate it 5 stars because the real ones always stay informed.
Hi, I'm Imani Godin, founder of Godance. Godance is a nonprofit interdisciplinary dance organization rooted in New Orleans, providing access to dance education and sustainable, wellness-centered art practices. Right now, you can be a part of this work by participating in our Key to Your Heart house raffle. Our programs are open, inclusive, and community-centered, supporting artists, students, and creatives at every stage. Your involvement helps expand access, education, and opportunity for artists of all ages. To learn more and get involved, visit Godance, GAUDANSE.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another open enrollment update. Who do I have on the line today?
Hi, you're speaking with Vanessa Scott of BSG of Louisiana.
Can you tell us a little bit about what is open enrollment?
The open enrollment period is for Medicare members that want to change from one plan to another.
Why is open enrollment so important?
Because a lot of people missed out on the annual enrollment period, so they need to have a one-on-one review.
And if you have questions or concerns about your Medicare plans, what should you do?
You just pick up the phone, call 504-621-3687. We even come out to your house. Zero cost to them.
Get with BSG of Louisiana for your Medicare review.
For church groups, senior communities, or disability organizations, call 504-621-3687. We are an independent insurance agency providing information about Medicare-related insurance plans. We are not connected or endorsed by Medicare or the U.S. government.
WBOK New Orleans, home of the Good Morning Show, 7 to 9 a.m. weekdays.
Here's what's trending this hour. Well, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass delivered her State of the City address Monday. Part of her speech focused on the Palisades fire, though she's been criticized for not doing enough. Plus, the white man charged in connection with the murder of Charlie Kirk trying to keep some documents private. And NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell says the upcoming Super Bowl halftime performance by Bad Bunny will unite viewers. I'm Tammy Eswick, and that's what's trending.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. To those of you all who have been with us since the 7 o'clock hour or the 8 o'clock hour, and welcome to those of you all who are just tuning in. It is 8:13 a.m. You got somewhere to be at 8:15.
You're definitely late.
You better be walking in the door because otherwise you're going to be late. And, of course, our babies, our kiddos need to get to school. Please drive safely. The school zone is limited to 20 miles per hour, not 27, which might seem slow to those of you all who drive 55 and a 35, but it's 20 miles per hour. So please, please, please make sure that you drive safe. Take care of yourself and take care of others. We are going to jump into a truncated conversation at this point with candidates for the Senate District number 3. And so my friend Norman Robinson is here with me. We have limited time, so we're going to hop to it. Gentlemen, you'll have to share a mic in some cases. So we're going to open with a 1-minute intro, and you each will get a closing. And in between, we will ask questions, but taking note of the time, we'll have to make the questions as short as possible and make the answers as short as possible so we can get something from everybody in. So I'm going to skip the introductions and let you do that as a part of your 1-minute opening to say who you are, who you've been, and why you're running for this office. Mr. Chad.
Hello. Good morning. I want to thank all the listeners and thank y'all for hosting us. My name is Chad Loga. I'm a lifelong resident of St. Bernard Parish. My journey is a little different than everybody else's. I went through an electrical apprenticeship program after high school where I worked at a company till Katrina. After Katrina, the IBEW hired me. Most of y'all might know Tiger Hammonds. He hired me. He sent me up to Baton Rouge to be a lobbyist with the AFL-CIO. So I did that for 10 years. I started up in Baton Rouge at the legislature, and later I became the president of the IBEW. So up in Baton Rouge, I fought for issues such as lowering prescription prices for our seniors, voting rights, working rights, naturally, insurance. We ran the gambit. I fought for and delivered for people on those issues. And I'm running because Dr. Bowie has done a good job, and he served us well in 10 years. And I kind of want to continue some of the things he's doing. And, I would just ask for your support on February 7th.
Time.
Thank you. Chad Logan, number 4.
Thank you very much. And to WBOK and everyone who is listening, we really appreciate the opportunity to talk with you. I'm John Johnson. I have served in the legislature for many years. I started off in the House of Representatives, went over to the Senate. I've served on the City Council, and just recently served as a commissioner for the City Planning Commission. Look, what this race is all about is making sure that there's continuity in this district. Dr. Bowie did do a very good job with the legislature, and there are a lot of activities and a lot of issues out there that we need to deal with, and you need an experienced person to deal with these issues that we're confronted with in this city. The city has a deficit, and one of the only ways that deficit is going to be addressed is from the state, through the state. I have served as the chairman of the Committee on Revenue and Fiscal Affairs. I've served on the Senate Finance Committee. I've served on the State Bond Commission. I know the process very, very well. I think we just need experience.
Okay. Mr. Barnes.
Good morning, and thank you, WBOK, for having us here this morning. My name is Ken Barnes. I'm an attorney. I've been a public defender. I've been a city attorney, and I've been special counsel of Louisiana Supreme Court. The reason why I bring that up is because I have experience negotiating and working on deals, on government deals. I've sat on legislative committees that deal with creating laws, and I've briefed both the Supreme Court and the legislature on those laws. Additionally, it's great to be here because I am a volunteer wrestling coach at Xavier, so to be back here, and this was the school where my wife began her college career, so I'm thankful to be here with you today. I'm asking for everyone's vote because I will be number one on the ballot. I have the experience of being an attorney, so I know how to negotiate. I also have the experience of being a wrestling coach, and I am a fighter. So when things don't go right, we're coming off the top rope and we're getting what we deserve. Because without New Orleans, Louisiana would not be the place where everyone comes to visit as much as they do, right?
Right.
And so I want to represent District 3 to make sure that we can be the best district and the best New Orleans for Louisiana and for the country.
All right. Well, there will be no hitting, no biting, no hitting below the belt, and definitely no wrestling.
Yes.
Okay. Question for each of you. So each of you have said in so many words, Joe Boyd's done a good job. Okay? So let's say all of that is true. But none of us can say we've finished the job. In a minute or less, what's left to do, Mr. Chad?
On many issues, we need to tackle the insurance crisis that's happening in Louisiana. Everybody knows their insurance premiums haven't gone down. We have to fund a fortified roof program. Because in Jefferson Parish, they reached a threshold of 25% of fortified roofs, and their premiums went down. Insurance is keeping young people from entering the housing market, and it's bringing our older folks, about to kick them out of their houses because of the insurance prices. I think another thing that we need to do to continue is we need to create a state minimum wage. Louisiana doesn't have a state minimum wage. And one thing that's appalling is we still have a $2.13 service worker wage on the books. We need to get rid of that. That's not even, I don't even understand how that's still around. And then the third thing is I'm a big teacher guy. When I worked in Baton Rouge, I worked on a lot of teacher issues. And I believe that we don't need to give our teachers a one-time pay raise. We don't need to bring our teachers to the Southern national average. We need to bring our teachers to the national average. That would be about a $15,000 increase in teacher pay, which I think would retain and attract the best teachers around. If we bring them up to the national average, we'd be better than the whole Southern average.
There's an awful lot that is left to be done. When you look at the issues that we are still having in the Lower Ninth Ward, the issues that we're having in New Orleans East, where, quite frankly, we have little or no retail development in New Orleans East, that is an obvious opportunity for someone who has some experience to go into the legislature and work to bring retail development to New Orleans East, to bring a comprehensive redevelopment housing program to the Lower Ninth Ward, to work very closely with the people in St. Bernard to make sure that the coastal erosion problem that they're confronted with is addressed also. So yes, Dr. Boyd did a very good job, but there's so much more that remains to be done, especially in the city during this time where the city has a $200 million deficit. We are going to have to address those problems. We don't usually have a friendly environment in Baton Rouge when it comes to the city of New Orleans. So the more experience you have going up to the legislature, working with members of the legislature, the better off the city is going to be, the better off St. Bernard Parish is going to be. And I'm saying to you that I go to Baton Rouge as a state senator, I go in with more experience than any other member of the state Senate. I know how to get things done. I've done it before. I can start from day one.
So the number one issue we're facing in Orleans Parish is the same number one issue we're facing in St. Bernard and across the rest of the state. It's affordability. People can't afford to get the groceries that they are usually been getting. They cannot afford the insurance rates that are rising, and they surely cannot afford the housing that's coming. What I believe is that we got to tackle the affordability issue by making sure that we invigorate and we empower people to be able to start their own businesses. That's why I'm calling for a small business navigator and small business incubators to assist people to start their businesses, to take their ideas from a napkin on a kitchen table to a real functioning business. Additionally, we need to look at how can we best assist the kids and the children. We need to do this through early childhood funding, post-education funding, and also trade funding. And additionally, we should look at how can we best fund for the children as they're firstborn in early childhood and preschool daycare, to take that burden off of those mothers and those fathers.
Well, gentlemen, everything starts with money, and let's start with economic issues. And the one controversial issue that regards economic development is the proposed container terminal in St. Bernard Parish that has created quite a lot of controversy with people in the lower Ninth Ward and people in St. Bernard who are feeling very uneasy about that. Let's begin with you, Mr. Barnes. What is your position on the development of the proposed container terminal in St. Bernard?
So what's going on in St. Bernard is we see this terminal that's coming about. And I've had the ability to speak to a lot of people out there in St. Bernard, out in Chalmette, out in Violet, and we're getting a mix of different people. A lot of people may say that they're against it, and some people say that they're for it. What I believe is that I stand with the people of New Orleans and the people of St. Bernard and the population who are saying that they're not for it, because they have shared they are not getting the information. They feel like they're left out, and they're not being able to be a part of the decision making. And most importantly, what they're also sharing with me is that they are not receiving the same deals as far as payments from those companies as the other individuals. And so what I want to do is make sure that there's fairness amongst all, and I stand with the people.
Okay, that's it.
Mr. Johnson.
The majority of the people in St. Bernard Parish are opposed to this project, and so am I. I think the people have spoken. They've said very clearly where they stand on this project. They're not for it. And I think those of us who are seeking to represent the people need to be representative of the views and the wishes and the wants of the people in that community. The same thing is true with the grain train in the Lower Ninth Ward. The people have said very definitively, very, very clearly that they're not in favor of trains being run down the streets right next to their homes in the Lower Ninth Ward. We were able to get the trains out of that community some 30 years ago, and to bring them back in 2026 would be a mistake. I am with the people on this issue. I think the Alamo Street Wharf can be used better for the community as opposed to using it for a grain elevator where we have grain dust flying all over the community and making people sick. I'm not in favor of it. The community is not in favor of it. And it is not something that should be superimposed upon the people in the community in the Lower Ninth Ward.
Time. Repeat the question.
The question was, are you for or against the controversial economic development projects like the proposed container terminal in St. Bernard Parish?
I am against any state entity coming into bullying its way into a community and not addressing anybody's concerns. I've been around this fight since 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I signed that petition way back in 2020 when it started, not in 2026 when there's an election. And there's many problems with this proposed container terminal, but none of the issues are getting addressed. They have these quasi-community meetings, but only certain people get to go to. The one really only community meeting they had over 500 people show up, and that's when the Corps engineers woke up and said, hold on, we need to start vetting these questions a little more. And they got a group down at it, and they've been doing a good job delaying that. But there's another project, a port project, in the Ninth Ward. It's going in a historic neighborhood. All the people around there don't want it. And isn't it amazing that it's the port projects that are having these problems with the community? You know, we want good partners in our community. Because at the French Quarter, they proposed an ammonia plant at Governor Nichols Wharf.
Mm-hmm.
That's terrible projects in bad places.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
We've been joined now by candidate Sidney Bartholomew Jr.
Second.
The second. Junior's already been he's been in politics and is out now.
All right,
the second. And do I need to repeat the question for
Please,
you?
just
Yeah, the question is: are you for or against the proposed container terminal in St. Bernard Parish?
Yeah, I think in order for me to support that project, we need increased transparency. I think the people, the community need to be heard, and they need to feel a sense of responsibility coming from the port, coming from the partners involved in that project, that their well-being would be top of mind and made, guaranteed that community is not going to be disrupted beyond the construction of that project. So I think we need clear direction from the port, clear transparency on the project, and we need buy-in from the community. Buy-in from the community is essential to my support of that project.
So, gentlemen, if not these projects, where are the jobs coming from? Anybody?
Yeah.
Well, as I spoke to earlier, my idea of creating a small business navigator and a small business incubator is where those jobs come from. We know that small businesses are the powerhouse to economies throughout this country, and the most job creators come from small businesses. And so while these great developments may be good, a lot of these are short-term jobs as they're being created. And such as the grain terminal, which may be a job creator while it's being built, it also impacts the community and the environment, but that will only create about 15 long-term jobs. I'm trying to make it where we can have at least 15 small businesses to hire multiple people to create more jobs there.
All right, this is a 30-second follow-up. Go ahead.
Well, look, I think the jobs come from training, making sure that we do a better job and increase the amount of training. And look, I think the state is doing a halfway decent job in promoting training programs. I think we look more for technical kinds of jobs. The port project is not a job creating project. The grain terminal is not a job creating project. What we need to look at is making sure that we promote technical training for the state.
I would say we do need more training because the state has cut apprenticeship, boat tech, trade schools. We need more of that. But look right out in New Orleans East at Boeing. We have a big company there. Why are we not training for high-tech jobs where we could build ancillary businesses around that aerospace industry? That's the kind of jobs we need. That's good paying, benefits, retirement. That's everything we need in the community. That's everything I fought for in my life. And that's what we need for our people. They need opportunity. That's what they need.
Yeah, the opportunity in New Orleans East, of all places, is there. Look, we need to go vertical in New Orleans East. That's going to create short-term construction jobs, and then we'll bring business into commerce, and you'll have long-term permanent jobs. There are various industries that are interested in New Orleans East. New Orleans East has a perception problem that needs to get dealt with and addressed right away so that businesses feel comfortable investing, and we want responsible investment in New Orleans East. I think going vertical is the move there, and that'll create short and long-term jobs.
Okay, I have a question for each of you. So I'm asking for transparency. I mean, of course, I can call up something and see the last filing, but I want you to answer this question with transparency. As of today, how much have you raised? How much do you have available? How much have you spent? And is it enough to finish this campaign since you only have a couple of days?
Me first, I've raised all my money but $5,000 that I loaned myself in the beginning. I've raised about, let's say anywhere from 30 to 35 to 40,000. I've probably spent about 25 to 30,000, I would say. So I still have cash on hand. I'm ready to finish it. I'm ready to go all the way to March 15th if need be.
Okay.
I don't know exactly how much I've raised. I'm raising money every day. But let me just say to you very clearly, my campaign primarily has been driven by myself. And that's the way I've run my campaigns in the past.
Does that mean your personal investment?
It means that...
Because the question is about the funding of the campaign.
It means that I've put a significant portion of my personal money into my campaign, which is what I've done in the past, because nobody's going to control me. Nobody's going to control me when it comes down to contributions, a lot of times people are giving you contributions because they want something in return or they want to control you. So what I've consistently done over the years is, for the most part, fund my campaigns, and that's what I am doing now.
Okay.
I'm continuing to raise money, and I have a sufficient amount of money to run a strong campaign to the finish line.
So I've made a significant contribution to my campaign to the tune of about $50,000. At this point, we've raised somewhere about $35,000, $40,000. As of the last filing, we had about $30,000, $33,000 cash on hand. We are ready to run this through March 15th. And I just wanted to piggyback on something. You asked me about the containers, and I didn't answer to all of the questions. I just answered about the containers. I'm also against the grain train. I've spoken against that. I've spoken against the replacement of the locks versus a repair, a retooling of the locks. And so that's where I stand on those projects.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we have on hand. It's probably better for my team to answer that question. I will say that we have over 100 donors to our campaign. So I think that represents a grassroots folks really excited about our campaign, excited about the future of the district.
Gentlemen, we've talked a lot about New Orleans and St. Bernard Parish, but there are other areas that are in your district that need your representation as well. How about Harvey and Marrero? What are the issues there? Harvey, Marrero?
Not a part of the district.
That was 2023.
Yeah.
And look, maybe we should just talk about where the district is located.
Go right ahead.
So 30 seconds.
The district is kind of all over the place. The Lower Ninth Ward, New Orleans East, Gentilly Woods, Pontchartrain Park, the 7th Ward, the French Quarter, Marigny, Bywater, the Lower Ninth Ward, Chalmette, where Araby, Miro, all the way into Violet. So the district is just all over the place. And that is something that needs to be straightened out also.
Yeah, it literally runs from the French Market all the way down to Violet, along the river, following the river.
So addressing issues in some of those other areas other than the Lower Ninth Ward and New Orleans East.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's 60,000 households in the district. Many different neighborhoods have many different unique issues, unique challenges. We talked about New Orleans East. I mean, I think Pontchartrain Park and Gentilly would like also to benefit from economic development, delivering new commerce where we're getting rid of blighted buildings and we're putting a building back into business. I think the Ninth Ward, of course, would have that same issue, but the Ninth Ward has issues like tire dumping. That's pretty unique, kind of, to that area.
Now, and I would say, just like them, the district's very big. It's very gerrymandered. I mean, you got certain streets that aren't in the district that should be in the district. You got people represented by people in Slidell and everywhere else but home. But if you go into Bywater and the Marigny, their issues are, well, I could tell you, the Ninth Ward, the Bywater, up in Gentilly, the East, the lock project is a big problem for them. The grain train is a big problem for them, especially in the Marigny and the Lower Ninth Ward.
All right.
And then,
As a assistant city attorney, I've already worked to make sure that we affect and we stop the dumping going on in the East as well as in Gentilly and other parts of New Orleans. As a public defender, I've represented the unhoused in the French Quarter, the Marigny, and Bywater. Those are some of the major issues we are seeing in those locations, and I've currently made my position known on the lock project as well as the grain train, affecting those in St. Bernard and Lower Ninth Ward. So as this is one big district, this is so many different parts and so many different dynamics and cultures within each that I'm going to make sure that I'm on the ground speaking with everyone one-on-one to know what their issues are to address them.
Okay, so we're going to a closing for each of you, but this closing is more specific than some other closings. So in your closing, would like you to address these things. Each of you will have a minute. Why are you the best candidate? When's the last time you were at the state capitol? And if people didn't vote for you, who should they vote for among the four of you. Okay? Everybody clear? Okay. Mr. Chad.
I'm going to move my chair so I can go last.
Yeah, that was that last part.
That was a lot.
Who you vote- If not you, then who?
If not you,
Then who?
My name's Chad Logan. I'm a husband, a father, and a grandfather, and that's my most important jobs. But like everybody else, I want my family to work, live, and play in a place that's safe, equitable, and prosperous. The last time I was at the Capitol was just this past year, at the last legislative session. Actually, I was up there before this legislative session, but it wasn't in. What was the first part of your question?
then why are you the best candidate?
Oh,
And
well, I'm the
then,
best
if not
candidate.
you,
Okay,
who?
I'm the best candidate because I have experience. I'm young. I'm energetic. I know the process throughout the system. The only difference is I worked on this side of the rail instead of the other side of the rail at the Capitol. And I'm gonna be honest. I like all my opponents.
Which
I think,
one?
Well, I think we have a very good relationship, each and every one of us. I really do.
Which
I
one?
would. I'm not picking one. I like them all. I do. I really do. I mean,
All right.
and look, we might have
Mr.
to
Johnson.
pick one later.
I think I'm the best qualified candidate in the race because I've served in the legislature. I've served in the House of Representatives. I've served in the state Senate. I've served on the city council. I've served as a city planning commission member. I know the legislative process. Look, there's a possibility that if this race goes into a runoff, the person who will represent this district will go into a session that has already started. You cannot go into a legislative session without some legislative experience and be productive on day one, unless you have that experience of having been there before. I've done it. I know the process. I have the experience. I have more experience than any other member of the state Senate, and I think that is what people need more than anything else. If it were not me, who would I select? I would look to try and find somebody who has experience to go and represent me in the state legislature.
Time.
I guess we don't have to answer the last question. You're not gonna get me to be the first and only one. I ain't said I'm picking you, and nobody else can pick me.
Yeah, you can pick me if you want.
Safe choice, right? I'm gonna pick my mama.
Go ahead. Oh, you can't go wrong with that.
Oh yeah.
All right, your time's clicking.
My name is Ken Barnes. It's been a pleasure to be here with you today as an attorney, as a community advocate who has set up family dinners, who has registered high school students to vote, who has been in the community assisting and helping since day one. My work in the community didn't begin today. I didn't just pop up saying I want to do this position. I've been putting in work to work in the community, both as a public defender and in these other roles where I was working in the public, not paid a lot, and in the community service that I've done. And so I'm the best fit because I've worked with the people, I have talked to the people, and I know how to use the laws, and I have also sat on these subcommittees.
Yeah, I work in a tough industry. I'm in construction, 20 plus years, small business owner, construction professional. I'm ready to fight. I bring a wealth of knowledge in terms of infrastructure, which this community is going to need right away when we're dealing with New Orleans East and trying to tackle that and bring it back into the city in terms of commerce and in terms of just how it relates to the culture of New Orleans. I have the support of all sitting senators in the Orleans delegation. We are ready to work together. It's a tight-knit group. It's going to need cohesion. They're ready to get working on legislation, and I am ready to be a part of that. I want this district to be better than it was yesterday. My 9-year-old daughter and my wife deserve someone that's a strong voice, and I've always known as a voter that I wanted a strong voice. I represent that for the district.
Time. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming in today. Lively conversation. Appreciate each of you coming here in person. So that means you're a man standing on your own in this race, as opposed to having a bevy of people sitting around you, handing you notes. So I appreciate your coming into the studio today. And of course, the election is on Saturday. As I've reminded folks every day, there are still more than 3,000 people who have not returned their mail-in ballots. So we definitely want those people to vote, and those who like to go to the polls, that opportunity is Saturday, starting at 7 a.m. One of you will be the winner. It's possible
Unless
that
there's a
two
runoff.
of you. It's possible that two of you could be in a runoff. Best of luck to each of you and to the voters, our WBOK family of listenings. Please do your civic duty and your responsibility. Take these gentlemen into consideration and make your choice.
Good luck, gentlemen, and I want you to know that you're the only reason I'm out of bed before 10 a.m.
Well, thank you very, very much, Norman. Thank you.
We're going to break. And when we come back, we're going to talk to a Dillard alum who's doing some fascinating stuff, and we're going to be talking with her. This is WBOK 1230 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Good morning and happy Thursday. I'm Morgan Lentis with WDSU News, and here's a look at today's headlines. The New Orleans Police Department is preparing to review all of its payroll. This after the department's Public Integrity Bureau recently arrested Sergeant Henry Burke on 4 counts of public payroll fraud and 6 counts of injuring public records. The Office of Inspector General has been looking into the department's records, and Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick says the department also put new policies in place in hopes of preventing future fraud. Then there are new developments in the murder investigation of former Edna Karr and Ole Miss football player Corey Adams. The FBI says they are looking for a black Nissan sedan. Investigators say someone fired shots from the vehicle, hitting Adams and several other football players. The shooting happened last year on July 19th during a party near Memphis, Tennessee. A reward has also been increased to $20,000 for information that leads to an arrest. Finally, the community will say a final goodbye to fallen Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Deputy Christopher Ohlmeyer. He died Friday in a motorcycle crash while helping with a funeral procession on Airline Highway in Holly Grove. His viewing is from 10 to 1 today at the Jefferson Performing Arts Center, with his funeral to follow. And that is a look at today's headlines.
Trying to grow your business or increase traffic to your location? We can help. WBOK 1230 AM has a number of solutions that will meet your individual needs. Give one of our consultants a call today at 504-582-9420 or email us at info@WBOK1230.com. And remember, an investment with WBOK is an investment in our community. Call today.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
A chilly and breezy Thursday is ahead. Highs only make it to 53 to 55 degrees, but with the winds today, it'll feel a lot cooler than that. You can expect those winds coming out from the north, so yes, it will be funneling in that cooler air. As we do get to tonight, lows will drop to the 30s and the 40s, and then getting into our Friday, warming back up to the 60s. More 60s, even 70s by Sunday. From the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Richard.
Late nights are made for chillin', and you can do just that every Sunday night at 10 p.m. as DJ Wick brings you The Love Zone. It's the perfect way to top off your weekend with your favorite old and new school ballads. So sit back, relax, and let DJ Wick take you to the Love Zone on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
New Orleans, the city of festivals and second chances. This is Mr. Rocky of Faithers in Jesus the Christ, inviting everyone to come to the table of grace. No matter where you are of what you're dealing with, guilt, bad habits, mistakes, or heavy hearts, Jesus still calls us his friend, and his grace is waiting for us. Tune in to WBOK, 12:30 a.m., or watch live on Facebook or Instagram. We'll reflect on his work on the cross, his resurrection, his ascension, and the hope of his return for we who that believe and have received him by faith. So join us at the table of grace, where mercy is fresh, forgiveness is real, and grace is served for people like you and me.
Welcome to Chemical of the Month from the community scientist and Rise St. James. This month's focus is polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, or PAHs, formed when fuels like oil, gas, wood, or trash are burned. These chemicals can enter the air we breathe and settle into our soil and water. Many PAHs are known carcinogens, adding to the health burdens faced by communities living near industry. Learn how to protect your health at risestjames.org.
My wife was frying okra. She's from Mississippi, so that's her favorite thing to do. She left the burner on high, and it didn't take long to ignite. So I ran to the stove, grabbed the pot, and that's when I got burned from a grease fire. And yes, the pain was, it was bad. Oh, Blue Cross treated me great with the recovery process. On the financial side, it would be expensive without Blue Cross. And that's what I was worrying about because I was out of work for 3 months. I'm Chad. I'm from Baton Rouge, and I had Blue Cross for 10 years. I don't eat fried okra. That's the funniest story.
Louisiana Blue. The right card, the right care.
New Orleans doesn't need on-the-job training. We need experience and results. John Johnson brings proven leadership and real accomplishments. He's helped secure funding for critical local projects, and he's worked directly on policies that strengthen public services and protected taxpayers.
I believe government should work for neighborhoods, families, and small businesses. That's what I've done, and that's what I'll do in the state Senate.
Experience matters. Leadership matters. John Johnson for State Senate.
Paid for by John Johnson for Senate.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I am excited to have Brandis Griffith Friedman join me. I'm Will Sutton and Norman Robinson in the house.
Still here.
You're still here.
Still awake.
All right. Well, we got a few minutes, so let's go ahead and hop to it. Brandis Griffith Friedman is a Dillard University graduate, a journalist of note based in Chicago, a mom, an author, and filmmaker. And
sources say
here because there's an 11 o'clock screening at Dillard that we can see some of your work.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Good morning and welcome to WBOK.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited. Yes, this is very exciting for me.
Tell us about what we can see at 11.
Yeah, so at 11, we are screening, the film is called Opportunity, Access, and Uplift, The Evolving Legacy of HBCUs. It is a 26-minute documentary that, explores the challenges, the misperceptions, the changes of HBCUs a little bit over time, but especially in the last 5 or 6 years. And, full disclosure, we finished, shooting this in 2024. In spring of 2024, actually, so there were more changes that are ahead, and maybe that's part 2, but I don't know that yet. And so the screening that's happening, I'm very proud to be able to take this film back to Dillard University, my alma mater, because it features heavily in the documentary. We profiled students from 2 universities, Dillard and Delaware State. We wanted to get a state school, something in sort of like a slightly different part of the country, even though we all know HBCUs are concentrated in the South. And so you get a feel for what the HBCU experience is. If you are a graduate or very familiar with HBCUs, I want people to be able to look at this film and see themselves in their experience. But I also know that people who are not familiar with HBCUs come away with a better understanding and having learned something about the HBCU experience. So screening it at 11, panel discussion moderated by a student. along with me and a few other students.
What are some of the misconceptions about HBCUs?
I think people think that the academic rigor is not as competitive. I think people think that that their graduation rates are lower because they're not good schools, using air quotes. So I think people
use you as an example.
Sure.
So to add some more context, some more layers to this. So you chose Dillard University, and there was a reason, whatever that reason was. And without going through all of the years in your still young life, you are a PBS journalist.
I am.
Not
Thankfully.
everybody can get to do that.
Facts.
And it's a special place. So was Dillard part of preparing you for that? And what would you hope that people come away with this screening, with this film about folks like you?
Yeah. Absolutely, Dillard was, everything that I learned at Dillard. I majored in mass communications. That set me up for the path that I would take to, the career, the place that I am right now. Dillard was the foundation for that. For me, I think the part about Dillard that gave me that was, I learned a little bit about everything, right? Like I couldn't just focus on TV news at Dillard. I think it was the support from the community there, like the support from my teachers and professors. That I think is what I got from them, that sort of foundation, and that support let me know that I've got a future in this career, that I can do this. And so I think that's what it is, right? That's kind of what mattered for me. And that's what I heard from a lot of students when we were shooting the film as well, is it's the community that they get, not just from, their classmates and their peers, but also from the staff and the professors who kind of guide them along and give them additional support that you might not get, at a bigger school or at a school that just kind of sees you as one of thousands.
Yeah, it cements, I think, the cohesion that we need as a community at large, nationally. I get tears in my eyes every time I think about my HBCU hero, who is Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune. And she went so far as to leave a last will and testament for the people who followed behind her. I leave you love. I leave you a thirst for learning, for education. I leave you the pride for dignity and independence. And when you look at schools like that, it reminds me that Black history shouldn't be just a month. I mean, we shouldn't leave it to the mainstream society to create a month for us. I mean, I'm insulted. I'm sorry. I'm going to make a lot of people angry, but I'm insulted with February, Black History Month. We should be teaching our children Black history 365, 24/7. It's like our history didn't begin with slavery, And we have great educators. All of these people who rose to prominence got their start in Black institutions. I had an argument with a researcher when I was at Harvard for the Nieman Fellow, who said that education has always been horrible in the United States. I said, not in Black schools. Not in Black schools, because we had the creme de la creme. Because the highest thing that you could achieve during Jim Crow and slavery was to be an educator. And we had the best minds teaching kids in our schools. Or you think Hidden Figures came from?
Right. So what's the name of the film?
It is
And give us a reminder about how can people RSVP and where it's going to be seen.
It is Opportunity, Access, and Uplift, the evolving legacy of HBCUs. If folks are not able to make it to the screening, you can go to pbs.org and search for it. So it is available on pbs.org. It did air on WLAE locally on Martin Luther King Day, actually. And I think WYES aired it as well back in September when it first came out. So so we have to call them and ask them to air it again.
All right.
Still working on that. So, and if people want to RSVP, the best way to figure out how to get to that link rather than going through the whole Eventbrite, blah, 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 is to go to Instagram. And find me at Brandis Friedman.
Does she have time for one more question?
Go ahead. We're not going.
We'll see if she has time to answer it.
We're gonna make room for the front porch. It's gonna be short questions.
It's a short question. Why are HBCUs more important now than ever?
Oh, wow. That's not a short answer, and you know it. More important now than ever, I think, because of the history, because of the legacy. They punch above their weight. And also, as a matter of, black students and what we see happening, post the affirmative action decision by the Supreme Court. And 25% of enrollment at HBCUs is non-black. They're important to everybody, not just black students.
All right, that's it. That's a wrap. It is time to go to the front porch. This is WBOK 1230 AM. I'm Will Sutton, and with me today has been Norman Robinson, who got up extra early to come in for a special edition of the
He
Good
owes
Morning
me
Show.
big time.
Coming up next is the front porch. This is WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.